Hey everyone, Grant from Hamina Wireless here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to quickly design a Wi-Fi network for a hospital environment. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop my PDF floor plan in. We do support multiple file formats or image file formats for the floor plan. This one's a PDF. We support CAD, JPEG, PNG, and so on and so forth. Now, once the floor plan is uploaded into Hamina, we've got a couple of little AI functions that will make your life a bit easier. The first thing we can do is we can automatically scale the environment. And so you can see on the bottom right there, we've got the little robot head with a little 10-meter approximation. I can check that scale, and maybe I check that scale against the actual scale. That looks pretty good to me. The next thing the Hamina will do is we can automatically scope the environment. So we can check on our scope zone here, and you can see the perimeter of the building is in scope. We can accept that. That looks pretty good. And then the last thing that we can do is Hamina will automatically detect the walls. Now, because this is a PDF file, we can read the different layered information and we can apply materials to that. But in this case, I'm going to use the AI wall detection option. And you can see here we've detected walls and doors. Now I can change those if I want, but I'm just going to accept them in this case. And then if I switch to 3D view here, you can see that it's drawn in quite a bit of geometry pretty quickly. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to place our access points within the environment. Now we've got the singular AP placement here or manual option. So I'm going to select my vendor, go down the bottom here and see what we've got from Aruba. Might use, say, something like a 725 tri-band model. And so we can start to place our APs within the environment pretty quickly. And you can see Hamina renders in real time, really renders fast that I can actually click and place the access points within the map. And so I can manually place them, and you'll see Hamina automatically does all of the channel planning as well. But in this case, I'm going to use the auto plan option. I'm going to use the same 725 AP, but I'm just going to click the auto plan. And so all of the pre-existing manually placed APs will be removed. And then you'll see there's a little progress bar down the bottom right where Hamina will work out how many access points we need and the placement options for them. Now, the one thing that I will always say with the auto planning option is you should always verify this with a wireless engineer, because there's a couple of cases where, for instance, I may want to, optimize the placement of some of those points. And so, I definitely don't want any access points in that courtyard area. For example, it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense to put an omni access point in the courtyards. I would probably place something more like a directional access point. But if we're just using primary coverage, this all looks pretty good to me. And so, we're pretty much done. The last thing I'll do is I'll just quickly add a switch into the environment here. So I'm just going to zoom in and I'll place it in this little storeroom here. I'll select that switch. I'm going to make it a 48 port switch because we've got 23 ports rather that are already used. And we might give it a 550 watt power budget. And zoom back out. And that looks pretty good. Switch it to 3D view and we're done. All right. Thanks for that. See you on the next video. Bye for now.